Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review American Assassin. And when I first saw these trailers, I'm like, this could be pretty cool. Has Michael Keaton in it. That got me real excited. And I'll fanboy over him in a little bit. But overall, this film, I thought it was fine, and I did think that it could set up a potentially interesting franchise if they choose to keep going with these characters, because I think the ideas are cool. The story wasn't super interesting, though. The director is Michael Cuesta, and it's very straightforward, but some of the editing's a bit iffy and jumbled and is confusing at points in terms of the story and what's going on. But overall, I think it's very serviceable workman direction, and it is slow towards the beginning of the film and hits a more normal stride towards the end. And it has a very dreading flat tone to it, and that was off-putting for me. It didn't really bring a lot of energy or a lot of excitement to the film, which was surely lacking throughout this film, minus some scenes with a particular actor. And there was some intensity, and there's one particular scene that you really feel it, and that goes up to a lot to the actors in the scene, not necessarily maybe the scene itself. And also, on a side note, the CGI in this is so bad. You can tell this is a $30 million movie, and that why they went there with the third act to have so much CGI, it wasn't worth it. It just looked really bad. Cinematographer is Enrique Chediak. It's very generic by the numbers kind of cinematography. That's a lot of this movie. It's very generic and by the numbers for the most part. Writers, 5 of them by committee. Woohoo! Because why do you need 5 people to write this script? It was bloated and uninspired story. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of subplots that is like, are they really needed? Are we really focusing on what we should be focusing on? And this young man who wants revenge, becoming this assassin. And there's one really interesting character and one slightly interesting character. Our main character is the slightly interesting one. The really interesting one is the hardened veteran who trains him to be an assassin, and thank you, Michael Keaton. And you'll be hearing a lot of that in this review. The dialogue's it wasn't, I don't recall it being really bad. It's just very blah and not a whole lot of super interesting things to say. And it's not super deep. It does try to deal with some political issues around the world, but overall it's pretty serviceable, straightforward film. The music by Stephen Price is very atmospheric and does build up some of the sequences, and I think it is worked very well in the film. And in terms of the acting, Dylan O'Brien and Taylor Kitsch's villain wasn't super interesting, and Dylan O'Brien's character I thought could use some more, but both of them did a fine job. They really brought the characters to life, and I thought they were very believable in their roles. But Michael Keaton, yes sir, you bring all the energy and you light up every scene that you're in, and you're just intense and bring gravitas, and just you can feel him on screen, and his presence is fantastic and much appreciated throughout this film. And he has one scene where him and Taylor Kitsch have a scene, and that scene is fantastic, probably the best one in the whole entire film. My closing thoughts: we have some promising characters that I would appreciate in a different film, but the story here is really generic and kind of wasteful origin story. But I'd be game for other films if they tried to go back and revisit these characters. I'm going to give American Assassin a C.